Have you ever experienced a God wink? You know, the kind of experience you know without a shadow of a doubt that God stepped in and gave you a big old wink from heaven. I'm your host, Cyndee Sparre, broadcasting from Office Evolution in Troy, Michigan. I am the founder of My Collective Network and My Christian Business Network, two amazing business networking organizations. I am a firm believer that there is power in sharing God wink stories. Think of it as a way for people to shine their light on Jesus, one wink at a time. In Matthew 5:14, it says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Welcome back, listeners, to the God Wink podcast. My name is Cyndee Sparre, and I am here with Jacob Marshell, and so excited to have a guest on with me today because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I took a little bit of a sabbatical. Our last episode was back in the summer, and we got back into studio today, and I'm just so excited. I heard Jacob's story, and we were connected in a very divine way.
Indeed.
Just to give you a little bit of background, listeners, we have our Christian networking groups that get together in different areas of Southeast Michigan, and I was in, I think the first time, right, Jacob, we were in New Baltimore?
Yeah, it was at Big B, yep.
Yeah, Big B Coffee, and he walks up, and let me tell you, listeners, this man is known. I'm sitting at a table with, 8 different people, and all of them, when you walked up, Jacob, they were like, "Jacob!" And I'm like, "Who is this dude?" Everybody knows this dude. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, Jacob, how are you?" And you were bold, to come up and say, what do you guys got going on here?
Mm-hmm. Indeed, yep.
And then the second, where were the second one?
We were at Lula's Cafe, that's right.
Lula's.
On Hall Road, yep.
Yeah. And was that the same week or within a couple weeks?
I want to say a couple weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe like 2 weeks after or a week and a half after, yeah.
Yeah. And guys, I'm not sharing this for nothing. This tees up God's God winks because it didn't end. The home stretch came through when Brandon Buddy heard your story, right, Jacob? You told him your story. You took a tour of Office Evolution, and he's like, "Yeah, you ever heard of the God wink? I gotta connect you with Cyndee." I'm like, "Oh, we've had 2 times already. We've connected." So, welcome to the podcast, Jacob. Glad to have you.
I appreciate it.
Well, listeners, I want to tell you a little bit about Jacob. So he's actually grown up where I'm from, the New Baltimore area, most of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Attended anchor-based schools before going to a Catholic school called Cardinal Mooney, right?
Indeed, yes.
So if y'all are looking for a good car wash, I'm sure he's the man to tell you where to go, and he knows where they're all at. But he has worked the car wash industry, for quite a few years before moving into what you do now, which is finance. Is that correct?
Correct, yep.
So how is it going from car washes to finance?
Well, I'll tell you this, like growing up, people in my family used to always joke around like, "Oh, Jacob's going to be an office guy. He's going to be in the office somewhere." Like all my cousins would just joke around like that.
Like you're geeky, or?
I don't know. Like you would have to ask them, to be honest with that. I just heard it. I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." I don't know the future, right? But yeah, sure. So yeah, I mean, going at the car wash, obviously, I went there right after high school. So right after COVID, it was July 2020. I started there because I just needed a job, right? Something I was passionate about. I like cars, right?
Was that your co-op?
Kind of, a little bit. But yeah, I just liked cars. So I just started applied, got the job pretty quickly, worked pretty well there. But obviously that wasn't my calling. Like I knew like working at car wash is awesome. Meet a lot of great people, talk to a lot of great people, but it's not something I was supposed to do career-wise. I didn't know what I was supposed to do career-wise, but I knew I wanted to be at least like a business owner. Like I wanted to own my own business, something like that. So long story short, I mean, there were so many things that led to it, but I never see myself in the insurance space and financial services space, but here I am. So yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like you can always take something off of previous career choices, right? That help build you into like customer service in a car wash. You're going to need really good customer service when you're getting into having clients, right? Doing their finance.
Indeed.
Weren't you even like almost curious in getting into having car washes yourself or something?
Yep. Yeah. So, obviously those first couple of years I was in college as well while working at Mr. C's. Like I said, I wanted to be a business owner. So I'm like, well, I'm learning at least in the process of how to run a car wash as a manager. So they kind of teach you, how to run a car wash, whether it's fixing things and running the day-to-day operations, managing, all that type of stuff. So that was just obviously a thought in my brain. Well, if I want to be a business owner, this is what I'm doing. I know how to do it. We should probably collab, So,
yeah, makes sense.
Indeed, obviously, but you need funds as well to obviously open a car wash. It's expensive, and to find there's a lot of variables with it. Like location being huge when it comes to the car wash industry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Boy, Jax is taking it by storm, aren't they?
I know. I heard private equity bought out them. I think it was a family-ran business. I'm not too sure, but a private equity bought it, and they've just been, as you can tell, buying everything.
Yeah, it's like on every corner. Well, going through transitions and career choices, tell us a little bit what that looked like. How did you get guided steps in what you're going to do?
I have no clue, but I'll tell you this. So obviously I was at Mr. C's Car Wash. I was just like the opportunity. There was a few times in there where, I was like, maybe I should do like sales or something. Because I feel like I had a lot of sports players growing up and stuff. They tend to be good with sales mentally wise. So I thought maybe let's do sales or something like that. But I'm like, I like my guaranteed income a little bit better. That paycheck coming every couple of weeks, like that's, it just keeps you comfortable.
Right.
That's going to be a common theme coming up here, talking about comfort, right? So obviously a few years later, one day I was, just working and I was managing a couple different locations at this point, like 3 different locations. So I was at my main location. I was tired, super tired. I was working like 50-something hours that week.
Jeez.
And the week before, I was like 50-something hours. So it was a lot, right? But I was just tired. I talked with my other managers. I'm like, hey, let me go home, right?
Yeah.
It's like an hour before close. Let me just go home. I'm not going to go to the gym today. Like, I just want to go home.
Dude, you're gymming it too?
I know. I would work, 10, 11 hours and hit the gym right after.
Oh, my gosh.
For about an hour or so. And I used to always play a lot of basketball too. So I'd be at the gym sometimes for 2-3 hours after doing that 12-hour, 11-hour shift, right?
Wow.
So I was really active. And
yeah.
I like doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I was active during the car wash, active after, and I didn't mind it. But that one day, so I skipped the gym, and I'm heading home. I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm super tired. So I'm just cruising, and I had to drop off products to a different location. So I went and did that, and then after I did that, about a mile down the road after I left, I was heading home, and a lady kind of just, kind of smoked me in a car crash. Long story short, and suffered, bad concussion, messed up wrist and messed up back. Like there was a lot of stuff that happened, but with all that happened, it just changed my whole trajectory of my life right there. So long story short, I just couldn't work physically. It was that bad. Like I could not work. I was, I had no choice. So I was just looking at other places, and that's long story short where I went to Aflac. So I started at Aflac doing insurance, supplemental benefits for business owners. And then from there, I learned that there's more to solve than just supplemental benefits like short-term disability, which I wish I had, right?
Yeah.
Or like cancer insurance or something like that. Like it's great products for sure.
Yeah.
But people, there's more things we need to help people with. And I learned that slowly getting to insurance. And that's where I kind of spread my wings. And now I'm with Aflac as well, but I work with Mass Mutual Great Lakes. So it's like my 2 main things right there. Mass Mutual does great in life insurance, long-term disability, and financial services like planning, wealth management, and all those things that incorporate with that. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, short story.
So you were like a walking billboard for Affleck because you were the person that got injured and didn't have
Yeah, nothing.
nothing, right,
Yeah.
during that time. So previous to the accident, were you a believer? Were you Christian?
Yeah. So whole life, I'm the youngest of 9, so big family. But we were always growing up in the church, always in the church. My first 4 years of my life were in Detroit, so we're like 2 years in on the east side of Detroit, like Grosse Pointe area, actually not really Detroit. And then we were on the west side for a little bit for the other 2 years, and then we moved out to New Baltimore. So I was like 5, 6 years, whatever, when we went to New Baltimore. So we were going to churches, like other churches when we were in Detroit, but when we went out to New Baltimore, we started doing our own church on our home. We had a couple, family friends come over.
Oh, nice.
So we're doing service at the house with all the kids and everything. But yeah, my dad's pastor, so we kind of just did our service at home. So we always grew up in the church, and yeah, so it's always been a thing. We all grew up in the church, and so I always knew of God.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so did anything change in particular due to going through this accident?
For sure. Taking a couple steps back, actually, so going to Catholic school, I used to go to, so I'm not a non-denominational Christian, can't even say the word right. And I went to a Catholic school, and when I went to that Catholic school, there was like some things that, obviously Catholicism a little bit different than non-denominational. So when I seen those things, I was young, and I'm like, hey, that's not true. My parents said that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, prove it. And I'm like, let me talk to my parents.
I've been there.
Yeah, I know, right? So like that kind of sparked it right there. Like I shouldn't be telling people things or making these statements without backing it up with facts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what sparked me to I was reading all these podcasts. I was doing YouTube videos of just like Christianity stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did that a lot in high school, and I was just like learning, and it kind of sparked trying to get closer to God and everything, establishing a relationship. After high school, this seems to be a common thing with a lot of young people, but after high school, you're just introduced to different things, just the places, the people I was around after high school. They were great people, but they weren't God-like people.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a good influence on me. I wasn't doing anything bad, but it was just like, this is not steering me in the direction of God, of creating a better relationship. I say that all because every year it seemed like something bad happened. Like there was a couple of bad things that happened in 2021, 2022, 2023, like emotionally. And it's just like you go through those things. And when I went through those 3 things, I guess 3 things, there's a few more, but I was like always blaming God. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why I would literally say, I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Like why me? Why me? A lot of people
like
say
victim.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, like I wasn't living like I should be. So like looking back on it, like, no, you did it to yourself, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Consequences.
Exactly. So when that car accident happened, first of all, let's take a step back. Actually, so 30 days before the car accident happened, I was like, all right, like I gotta get closer to God. I want to just keep praying, get closer to Him. So I was just praying. So I was getting to work early, like 30 minutes early, and just started praying. And 30 days later, that's when the whole car accident happened. So that like I said, changed the whole trajectory. And long story short, I feel like he put me where I need to be. But so that was kind of like the fourth bad thing that happened after high school, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But when that happened, that was the absolute worst. That was the absolute worst. Like I would never.
That was like the rock
through.
bottom of you hate me, Lord, kind of feeling.
Honestly, at that point, I knew, like, when that happened, I knew it was. I never played the victim role with him. I knew for a fact, like, all right, like, this is really, really tough, but I know He's got me, and that's where I told you a little bit about Matthew 6:34, because going through that whole accident, the months following was the absolute worst time of my life, physically, emotionally, financially, like everything. It was absolutely horrible. And like I said, I would never want to go through it again. But nonetheless, God carried me through it. And Matthew 6:34 was like a big one for me, because He talks about how, the animals of the earth, the birds and stuff like that, they live, prosperous lives. And, we're made in the image and likeness of God. So why would he not take care of us? So why are you worrying about tomorrow? So I really just stuck that in my brain. I'm like, all right, screw it.
Yeah.
Just screw it. I'm going to believe in this. I believe in you. I trust you. Just, what do you want me to do? And tell me, like, let's do it. Like, I don't care about my life. Let's do what you want me to do. Let's do your will. I don't care about my will, right? So that was the whole mindset of that.
The whole rock bottom, I think, resonates with so many people. Do we enjoy going through it? Do we want to go through it again? Probably not.
Yeah.
But those are the moments where you get really close because you have to lean in. I remember you even saying, you were like, okay, what am I even doing here, Lord? Like, just take me, right? You're like, whatever.
Exactly.
It's pretty much, my life feels like it's over anyways. And that's where he started starts doing this work, right? Getting us to realize that, well, you seem like, Jacob, you're a really hard work ethic type of person, and you're a go-getter. That can be a bittersweet thing, because yes, you're motivated and it's fantastic, but the off switch can be challenging in what you're doing versus allowing the Lord to get glory in it. Do you ever feel that way? Like,
for sure, yeah.
So, I don't know. I just I hear these stories of people that go through these tough times, whether it's, even being diagnosed with cancer, they're really sick, they go through a car accident, they go through divorce. I think a lot of our listeners have something going on, but is that your rock bottom? And once you've hit your rock bottom, that's when he can start building from there and showing you that his eyes on the sparrow. Isn't that the thing? I think there's even a song on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So if a listener is hearing your story and they're not out of the pit right now, they're still feeling like their faith is tested, that they don't understand they're pursuing God, why would this happen to them? What words of encouragement would you give them?
Go for God's will, not your will. So put all your desires to the side and ask him, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to be a vessel for the kingdom of God? That's what I would say.
Yeah. So have you felt that God's put people in your path to be a vessel since all of this has happened?
Yep, indeed. So yeah, going back even a little bit more, a few months ago, what was it, maybe March or something, I started going back to church, like to it's called New Life Christian Church. It's like 13 in Harper area. So I started going to New Life Christian Church, and actually there's another story relating to that. My brother, he had a hard time, like rock bottom, when he was in a different state for work. Long story short, it just wasn't going good for him, and then he got laid off, moved back to Michigan, and he was at this tropical smoothie in St. Clair Shores, and he met Pastor Tommy. So he met Pastor Tommy there, and Pastor Tommy just felt touched to, like, felt led by the Lord to, talk to my brother. And, they prayed, and long story short, my brother was just looking for a church, and it just happened right there. He reached out, and Pastor Tommy, long story short, had a great relationship with Jared starting then, and my brother started going to that church, and that was maybe 2-3 years ago or something like that. And then I started going around March, I want to say. And yeah, and then I also got baptized in late June. Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, so by Pastor Tommy as well. So Pastor Tommy baptized me, but late June, and been going there since, so I love it.
Dang. It's crazy because even Katie we ran into just got baptized.
Indeed, I know. Let's get everyone baptized.
I know, right? Wow. So once had you ever been baptized before that?
Honestly, I can't remember. Maybe like as a little child, obviously, but other than that, no.
Yeah. So, because I hear people time and time again, it's like some are baptized when they're a little kid, and then when they grow up, they're like, man, I feel like God is like a born again Christian, type of thing. I had that happen. I mean, I've been raised in the Baptist church when I was little, but by the time I was 18, about to graduate, it was like I saw God in a whole new way. Like, you hear about God, but have you really experienced the goodness of God, right?
For sure.
Well, I want to make sure that the people listening today can connect with you. How would they go about doing that?
Pretty much all over social media. My main things are, I know I'm 22, but Facebook. That's where a lot of my clientele is too, because they're usually a little bit older than me. So I'm on Facebook a lot. So Facebook, LinkedIn a little bit, Instagram. You can find me on there. So search up Jacob Marshell and you'll see me pop up somewhere there, right?
And spell it right, people. It's Marshell, right?
Correct. Indeed.
Well, it has been such a pleasure having you on the God Wink today. Listeners, we encourage you to continue to listen in. We will have the handles for connecting with Jacob Marshell within our podcast notes. But I just want to encourage you, if you really are seeking to really see God's goodness, feel God's goodness, pursue Him. One way to do it is in prayer. Jacob and I were just talking about the power that I've seen in my life and making prayer integral piece every single day. Mm-hmm. There's power in that, because how does He move unless you specifically come to Him in prayer with specific prayer? I really see that God's calling us to slow down and reach out to Him and build a relationship with Him, and prayer is an excellent way to do that. So if you have a God Wink yourself, we would love, love, love to have you on the podcast. So if you look within our podcast notes, you will see a link to be able to share your God Wink story, and someone from our team will reach out to you and invite you to be on the God Wink. But other than that, listeners, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I look forward to having you listen in on the next God Wink. I want to give a big thank you to Office Evolution Troy for providing their podcast studio for us this afternoon to record. If you have any questions or you would like to book your own time in their podcast studio, give them a call at 586-788-9966. If today's God Wink story really hit home with you, we would love to hear about it through the God Wink community on Facebook. If you know of someone that needs to hear today's God Wink story, show them some love and tag them on the God Wink podcast. You never know how a God Wink story might change their day around for the better. If you or someone you know has a God Wink story that the world needs to hear, we want to hear it. Simply click the link within the podcast notes to send in your God Wink story. Until next time, remember, God's got you. Wink, wink.